30 Days of Night, Dark Days starts right at the end of the last film, although this is mainly to ease us into the recasting of the main role, as Melissa George's character is now being played by the actress who played Nikki on Lost. You remember Nikki of Nikki and Paulo fame, the two characters who seemingly just showed up on the island that everyone kept asking, who the hell are you people? Yeah, her. The first film ended with a kind of, oh man, hell yeah, let's do this moment, but as it turns out, I was fine just thinking about that in my head. I didn't actually need it to go any further than that. The idea of it happening, as it turns out, is much better than the actual execution. Stella's mission of revenge against the vampires who ravaged her town and killed her man takes her to Los Angeles, and immediately the whole 30 Days of Night thing is rendered meaningless, as much of this takes place during, the day. She's immediately recruited by three others who also know these vampires exist, one of whom is Walt's dad, speaking of Lost. Guess who gets killed off first? Yep. They're all after the queen vampire, Lilith. I'm not sure how Frasier will feel about this. Helping them with their revenge quest is Dane, the good vampire. Because of course there's a good vampire. Look, I don't know how you make a sequel to 30 Days of Night that I'd care about. Doing the same thing again in a new town and a new group of characters probably isn't the right answer, but also this isn't it either. Maybe have people aware of the problem, lure the vampires to a similar small town, and then be ready for them Home Alone style? I don't know. But Dark Days is just another vampire thing with a ragtag group of heroes hunting them down with only a cursory connection to the original story. Sure, it's world building. I just don't care. Now on the other end of the how much Chuck cares about a thing spectrum, last season I found Happy Death Day to be a fun, albeit gimmicky thing with some surprising twists and turns and an actual character arc for its lead. I certainly never thought there'd be a sequel to it, but Blumhouse, sensing the ability to make some more cash quickly, managed to crank out another one less than a handful of months later. And like the first one, it's good? I know, I'm shocked too, but it is. It's good. Also, it wastes no time. It goes. This time, Ryan, Carter's roommate, seems to be the one stuck in a loop and stalked by a baby mask killer. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, as we learn that Ryan has been experimenting with a science thing, which could have created the time loop in the first place. From there, well, it's nuts. It's both the Gremlins 2 and Back to the Future 2 of the franchise, the latter of which they basically straight up admit to. I say Gremlins 2 because the script pointedly mocks things from the original film, and the Back to the Future connections will be obvious when you see it. And you should see it, especially if you had any kind of positive feelings towards the first installment. I don't want to say too much more about it because there's a lot of fun to be had here. It's fun, and freaking wild. You can debate if this is even a horror movie though. This crept up around the first film too, but whatever, that's a slasher movie with a unique spin. This is very different than the first movie, which is a good thing, but it's almost more sci-fi than horror. Ultimately, I don't care, I watched it either way, but have fun debating it and never coming to a conclusion, you nerds.